Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and here we go again. I know some people are tired of the ducks, but this topic still annoys me, so I'll find something else to play in the background as I talk. For those who have missed the controversy, those are the Victoria's Secret models singing and dancing along to a really shitty song from Cardi B called Bodak Yellow. Why would that be controversial? If you guessed because the song says nigga and they sang along without censoring themselves, give yourself a cookie. Phil DeFranco covered this yesterday and I left the following comment. If you don't want people saying a word, don't put out a song they're likely to sing along to where you say the word. Seemed pretty reasonable to me. In the thread that followed, somebody offered an articulated answer to the question of why blacks can say it and whites can't, and it comes in the form of this video.
Last week, Northwestern had this concert with Lil Uzi Vert. He uses the N-word profusely, like a ton, and there was an email sent out to students who went to this concert saying, you don't have a right to use this word.
I'm really curious if it said that students don't have a right to use this word, or if it said non-black students don't have a right to use this word. Either way, what she says next is really fucking stupid.
Which I 100% agree with. Like, as a white person, I don't have any right. I haven't, until reparations are paid, until there's some sort of giving back, there's no right.
Apparently in guilty white co-ed land, the First Amendment doesn't exist without reparations. You got to admit, it was really forward-thinking of the founders to throw that into the First Amendment. Congress shall make no laws abridging speech as long as reparations have been made. The fuck are you talking about? You're supposed to be a college student. What you just said is you don't have the right to free speech. This isn't really what I wanted to talk about, but let's let her finish her dumbass question so we can get to the real meat of the topic.
But what do you say to... I don't know what to do when I hear my friends using this word in a song. I don't know what to do when it's all the time.
I'm going to go way out on a limb and guess being rational's out of the fucking question.
Words don't have meaning without context, okay?
Close, but no. Words still have meaning. The ideas behind those words have no meaning without context. But it's as close as you get to being right in this entire fucking video. Let's watch as he fucks up the rest of it.
My wife refers to me as honey. That's accepted and okay between us. If we were walking down the street together and a strange woman referred to me as honey, that wouldn't be acceptable. The understanding is I have some sort of relationship with my wife. Hopefully I have no relationship with this strange woman.
No. I see what you were going for there. I do. And maybe your wife is just batshit insane. I don't know her. Maybe she would get jealous of any woman who called you honey. But if you've ever been down south, you know that that's a popular term of endearment. Strangers passing you on the street might say, "How are you today, honey?" Now, it sounds better with a southern accent, but it does happen, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like they're coming up to you going, "Hey, honey." Yeah, that would be different. Because, as I said, it is the idea behind the word that matters. Something you're going to prove over and over again in this video, even though you're trying to suggest something different.
When I was young and I used to go see my family in Philadelphia where my dad was from, they would all call him Billy. His name is William Paul Coats. No one in Baltimore called him Billy. And had I referred to my father as Billy, that probably would have been a problem. That's because the relationship between myself and my dad is not the same as the relationship between my dad and his mother and his sisters who he grew up with, right? We understand that.
Yes, typically children refer to their parents as mom or dad. Generally speaking, they don't refer to them as their first name. But it's not always the case. Let's say you don't know your dad. Not you. Let's say there's a white guy who doesn't know his father. When he was just an infant, his dad left his mother, never paid her a dime of child support, never showed up to any sporting events, never had anything to do with the child's life. 30 years later, his father, who also happens to be named Billy, shows up on his doorstep. Would it be out of the question for him to call him Billy, or even motherfucker?
It's the same thing with words within the African-American community, or within any community. My wife, with her girlfriend, will use the word bitch. I do not join in. I don't, say, hey, I don't do that. I don't do that. And perhaps more importantly, I don't have a desire to do it. You understand?
Oh, sure, I understand. I just don't think you do. There's a world of difference between you calling your wife's friends bitch and you being willing to say the word bitch. You didn't say B-word. You said bitch. You obviously don't have a problem with that word. You're not refraining from saying that word because it's offensive to women or even because it's offensive to your wife. You still said bitch. You seem to understand it's okay to use the word on the stage, even though it might not be appropriate to call your wife or her friends that. Do you have another example that could prove my point?
A while ago, Dan Savage was going to have this show that he was going to call Hey Faggot. I'm not going to yell faggot at Dan Savage. That's not my relationship with the LGBT community. And I understand that, and I'm okay with that. I don't have a desire to, yell out the word, faggot. I just don't have that.
And yet you just said faggot 3 times in 20 seconds. You didn't say F-word. You didn't say homophobic slur. You said faggot 3 times in 20 seconds.
The question one must ask, if that's accepted and normal for groups of people, we understand that, it's normal, actually, for groups to use words that are derogatory in an ironic fashion. Why is there so much hand-wringing when black people do it?
Why was it okay for you to say bitch and faggot? You're not a woman, and unless your wife isn't one either, you're not gay. Why is it okay for you to still use those words even though you're not part of those communities?
Black people are basically, however you feel about it, they're not outside of the normal rules and laws for humanity. I had a good friend who used to have this cabin in upstate New York, which he referred to as the white trash cabin. He was white. I would never refer to that cabin. I would never tell him I'm coming to your white trash cabin. I just wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? I think you understand why I wouldn't do it. The question one must ask is why so many white people have difficulty extending things that are basic laws, of how human beings interact to black people. And I think I know why.
Oh, I'm sure you do have an idea. But before we jump into that humorous pile of shit, let's talk about what you just said. You keep changing the fucking rules. Once again, you just used a phrase you said you wouldn't use. You wouldn't call your friend's cabin the white trash cabin, but you have no problem saying white trash cabin, or any combination thereof. You didn't say the WT cabin. You said white trash. It's not that whites won't extend that courtesy to blacks. It's that you're being a fucking hypocrite right here on stage. You have just used faggot, bitch, and white trash as examples of words you wouldn't say, and you said the fucking words. Each one of those, it's I wouldn't say it in this situation, not that you wouldn't say it. We know you'd say them. You did, repeatedly. There are definitely times I would not use the word nigger. But if it's in a song, you can bet your sweet ass I'm gonna sing along, because it's not racist to do so. No more than it's racist for you to tell us that your friend calls his cabin the white trash cabin.
When you're white in this country, you're taught that everything belongs to you.
And you know this from all your time being white? Taught that you own everything. That's fucking stupid. Oh, but don't worry. He's going to explain.
You think you had a right to everything. You had a right to go where you... you're conditioned this way. It's not, because your hair is a texture or your skin is light. It's the fact that the laws and the culture tell you this. You had a right to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, be however, and people just got to accommodate themselves to you.
For the record, I didn't say it was a good explanation. I just said he was going to explain. And in fairness to him, when you say something that dumb, you don't really leave yourself a lot of room to make an intelligent follow-up.
So here comes this word that, you feel like you invented. And now somebody will tell you how to use the word that you invented. Why can't I use it? Everyone else gets to use it. You know what? That's racism that I don't get to use it. That's racist against me. I have to inconvenience myself and hear this song and I can't sing along? How come I can't sing along? You know what I mean? And I think, for white people, I think the experience of being a hip-hop fan and not being able to use the word nigga is actually very, very insightful. It will give you just a little peek into the world of what it means to be black. Because because to be black is to walk through the world and watch people doing things that you cannot do, that you can't join in and do, you know? And so I think there's actually a lot to be learned from refraining.
Say that one more time.
Because to be black is to walk through the world and watch people doing things that you cannot do, that you can't join in and do, you know? And so I think there's actually a lot to be learned from refraining.
A couple of people in the comments to my last video asked me why I think social justice is still winning. This would be why. Shit like this. I'll give it to this guy. He gives a good speech. He's funny, he's charming, and as long as you don't pay attention to what he's actually saying, it's not bad. But as soon as you apply any thought to it, you realize there's holes in his logic big enough for Tess Holliday to fit through comfortably. Here's a guy who gives 3 examples of words he wouldn't use that he uses repeatedly. He blatantly race baits by telling us white people just won't let blacks have this one thing, this word just for their community, like they give every other community. Except he can't even give us a fucking example where that happens. He can't give us an example of a single fucking word he himself wouldn't use. But boy, does that audience respond just how they're supposed to. This clearly regressive audience didn't even groan when he repeatedly used a homophobic slur. Well done, sir. Well done indeed. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this one. If you enjoy what I do here, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter, or consider picking up a shirt from the Monkey Store. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I'll see you next time.
There's an email sent out to students who went to this concert saying, you don't have a right to use this word, which I 100% agree with. Like, as a white person, I don't have any right. I haven't, until reparations are paid, until there's some sort of giving back, there's no right.
Your life makes me sad.